The last season of anime was amazing. We had shows like Kaguya, Spike's Family, and Shield Hero Season 2. Never mind, forget that last part. But while Spike's Family and Kaguya took all of the attention, there's this one show that slipped through the radar, and that show is Summertime Rendering. It deserves so much more attention than it gets. Beautiful animation, an interesting and engaging plot, and of course the one thing that is needed most in an anime, mummy milkers. Nah, but for real, the show does slap. I have always had a love for a show called ReZero, and if you haven't watched it, it is one of my favorite animes and I beg you to go do so. Anyway, Summertime Rendering is like if ReZero got fucked by the horror genre. I can't even put into words how underrated this anime is. So I'm gonna be watching and reacting to the first 13 episodes of this truly heavenly show and finding all the funny and interesting moments throughout the episodes. Then I'm gonna make a part 2 watching the rest of the episodes when they come out. So if you do enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe so you see part 2. And obviously there will be spoilers for the first 13 episodes of Summertime Rendering, so watch out. So our main character Shinpei is bugging out because his best friend just died. So much so that he starts grasping for her, but he's actually grasping for calcium cannons. Even when he is sleeping, he is down bad. I salute him. So then his friend Mia pulls up and she can't control her bike. And oh my god, we've seen ass and we've seen tits, but the show isn't only that. Then we find out that Shinpei's childhood friend died saving this exorcist creepy ass looking girl. So everyone's a bit sad about the funeral, but Mia goes outside to escape and Shinpei follows. Then Mia's like, Shinpei, before Ushio died, she saw some clone of her. She stole her whole flow, her drip, her everything. Then Shinpei's like, that must be a legend. Nobody can steal Ushio's drip. She was dripped out the wazoo. So after their little argument, they end up going to the woods. And oh no, our beautiful busty balloon businesswoman is hurt. So Shinpei's like, yo, busty woman, what happened to you? And her brains get splattered. So he turns around to see who would do such a thing. And Mio is being held hostage by Mio. And oh my god, this other Mio does not take any hostages, bro. Body after body. Yeah, good anime. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. Nah, but for real, Shinpei wakes up and he's alive, and he's on the best place on earth, in between those massive... Shinpei is freaked out because he should have been game ended. So he starts living through his day and he realizes that everything is going the exact same way. Because of how stressed he is, he ends up going out for fresh air. And then he notices Mio and she's staring at the house like EDP stares at cupcakes. Then she notices a police officer and channels her inner South London. Bro, look at the glee on her face after sending that man to the gulag. Shinpei's obviously alarmed because there's this myth, this legend on the island that says that there's shadow people that can clone and become you. Then from the shadows comes another police officer who sounds and looks exactly the same as the other one. Then Shadow Mio says that she wants to kill the normal Mio and then take her place. Oh no, his phone. Oh my god, she used instant transmission and now he's dead dunzo. So he wakes up again and decides to do two things differently. He calls the officer and reports a fake crime so the officer won't get stabbed. And he leaves his phone recording so he can catch the Shadow Mio to show the real Mio so she'll believe him. Then when he shows Mio the footage, she's like, Shinpei, maybe Ushio was killed by Shadow Ushio. So this big mum looking ass pulls up on Shinpei and she needs help finding this family because they haven't been answering all day. So they break into the family's house and Shinpei sees silhouettes, shadows. So Shinpei panics because he knows they're 6 feet under. So he goes upstairs to find any more information and... oh my god, the creepy little girl strikes again. So she starts charging up to make Shinpei a hashtag. But luckily Charlotte Linlin comes in clutch and saves Shinpei accidentally. Shinpei senses that the businesswoman can help him, so he starts asking around. He's like, have you seen that woman with a suit on, long black hair? And then the guy's like, no, I've never seen a woman like that in my life. Then Shinpei's like, she had colossal cannons. Then after hearing that, bro realizes that he knows everything about her, her national insurance number, how many steps she took on that day. Like, bro, what? And then they go to a festival and Shinpei sees someone with a shocking resemblance to Ushio. So this girl that looks like Ushio just jumps on Shinpei. And then Shinpei's like, you shadow ass nigga, we buried your ass 2 days ago. So fake Ushio gets to thinking, she's like, oh yeah, I did die, but who gives a fuck? But Shinpei's not having any of it. He's thinking, why is this sturdy shadow silhouette motherfucker pretending to be Ushio? And then he says, what is your goal, demon? And then Shadow Ushio goes all cute and is like, I wanna go to the festival with you, senpai. So he takes her to the festival, but he has to keep her hidden because she's literally a dead woman. So they sit around and end up talking, but she remembers everything that Ushio did. But Shinpei can't sense any murderous intent even though she's a shadow. She just seems like the normal Ushio. So Shinpei leaves and tells Shadow Ushio to stay there while he goes and meets his friends. But she follows, blowing her cover, and Mio is disgusted that Shadow would copy her sister. But what's truly crazy is that Shinpei is not Shinpei. So we get a flashback and Shinpei gets owned by Shadow Mio. So Shadow Mio makes a clone of Shinpei, and then Shadow Mio is about to add another M to her charges. But Shadow Shinpei stops Shadow Mio from killing Shinpei, because once a shadow takes your data, they have all of your memories, so he knows that Shinpei is just gonna go back in time and change things. So Shadow Shinpei tells Shadow Mio to keep him hostage and then goes upstairs, but then Best Girl comes in clutch. Shadow Mio is a menace. She wants to put as many people in the dirt as possible. So we find out that the only way a shadow can be killed is if you attack the shadow under them. So Shinpei and Hizuru go upstairs to help the rest of the gang, and oh my god. What is that? The Antichrist? So all of Shinpei's friends are sleeping forever. And then this demon starts shooting shotgun shells at Hizuru, and she manages to dodge it in a way so it doesn't kill her. But the demon isn't done yet. He grabs Shinpei and looks at his eye and says that's the reason why he's able to go back in time. Mio is traumatized and Shinpei is trying to get over to her, so they start crawling towards each other, but so this big black guy is sacrificing everyone so he can resurrect someone they call Mother. And then the crazy bitch wakes up and she's like, yummy souls, yummy yummy. So Shinpei knows what he has to do. He's like, Hizuru, step on me. I mean shoot me in the head. I mean step on me. I mean shoot me in the head. But big black demon guy is trying to stop her from sending Shinpei back in time. But Shadow Ushio proves that she's on their side by knocking the jaw off of that guy. Then Hizuru shoots our boy Shinpei. So for this episode we stick with Hizuru, and we find out that she used to live on the island. She knew Mio and Ushio when they were only babies, and she came to the island because Ushio had a similar death to her brothers. Then she meets her childhood friend and she's disgusted because she's a shadow now. Then she assassinates a shadow that was trying to replace Shinpei's dad. Then Shinpei and Hizuru finally meet and Shinpei is so relieved that he has people that he can count on now. So we find out the reason why Hizuru is doing this is because the shadow killed her family. So Shinpei and his squad figure out a plan to try and assassinate the creepy little girl and her family. So she goes and grabs a comedically large hammer and just goes to work. And while she's in there dominating, Shinpei realizes that Hizuru has split personalities. Most of the time when she's fighting, she's her dead brother, and when she's not fighting, she's usually herself. She just straight up executes father and mother's shadow. But baby Shadow is pissed off. So she ends up escaping the chokehold and little girl just tries to run away because she does not want their smoke. But old man Nezu and Shinpei are waiting for her. So they take her hostage and Shinpei asks if she was the one that killed Ushio. And she describes in gory and graphic details that she strangled her to death. So Shinpei's about to attack a child, but Ryunosuke, Hizuru's brother, ends up game ending her. And for some reason this time loop is different. Ushio comes to him. Shinpei ends up hiding Shadow Ushio in his room, and then they're having a good time, but then Mio walks in. Shinpei starts explaining why her dead sister's in the room, but that is not Mio. Luckily for Shinpei, Ushio blocks it, but damn, Shadow Mio loves killing. It is not looking good for Shinpei, but luckily Gramps pulls out his Kar 98K, which gives Shinpei a chance to finally kill this murdering psychopath. But then Ryunosuke pulls up and he tries to eliminate Ushio because she's a shadow. So Ryunosuke and Shinpei come to a compromise. They're gonna stop working with each other because they're scared that Ushio might one day become evil. And because of that, Shinpei ends up telling his boy Sao all about shadows. They start using Shadow Ushio to open Ushio's phone because she remembers the password. And Ushio left a message on it about the lead up to her death. We're reliving Ushio's memories. So Ushio and Shadow Ushio decide to try and help the little girl Shiori. So they end up at the beach and Shiori, the little girl, starts drowning. So both Shadow Ushio and Ushio try and save her. It turns out Shadow Shiori is the one that's drowning her and she is on smoke. Ushio ends up saving Shadow Ushio and sacrificing herself. And just when you thought that Shadow Ushio and Shiori would make it, Shadow Shiori pulls up and look at that face. She ends up knocking out Shadow Ushio and killing Shiori. She won a 3v1, what a clutch. So this is when she replaces Shiori and pretends to be her. So the mystery gang end up going to some knackered abandoned house, and they eventually find this short shadow demon baby. Then all hell breaks loose. They use everything to try and kill this shadow monster. But luckily Shadow Ushio is there, so she one-taps it with her luscious locks. So they keep advancing more into the house, and it eventually becomes a cave, and those shadow babies that they struggle to kill are all around them. Then Hizuru and Nezu go into the cave as well. And goddamn, what is Ushio's hair made of? Like what? Back on the surface, Mio hears a noise and she sees Shiori going into the sewers. So now Mio and the officer decide to go into the sewers as well to look for the missing girl. Ushio's hurt and she can't heal. She needs to scan the original Ushio to heal back to health like she's drinking a chug jug from Fortnite. Then they get cornered by someone and it turns out to be Tokiko, Shinpei's friend and soul sister. Then she's like, I'm here to retrieve Ushio, give her to me. And then she just starts walking towards them, menacingly. So Shinpei waits for her to get in range so he can shoot her, and then he opens fire. And she just gives a devious smile, bro, and says that she's not even a shadow, she's human. So Shinpei surrenders because he wants to learn as much information as possible before he gets game ended and has to do it all again. Meanwhile, Ryunosuke and Hizuru are following someone, and it's that fucking demon child again. She has been killed multiple times, yet she's here again. And she's not alone, nigga Forearms is with her. And we find out that Ryunosuke has the power to see slightly into the future. Old man Nezu sacrifices himself. Then big black dude just starts blasting. But luckily Ryunosuke/Hizuru managed to escape, but not unscathed. Tokiko ends up bringing Shinpei and the others to her master, and it's that mother girl again. This episode is nasty. We learn some bombshells. Like Haine is a literal god, the mother of shadows. And she was the little girl the entire time, the one that killed Ushio. She's a literal god and that's why she wouldn't die. And the next crazy revelation is that So and Toki's family have been working for her for years. And they've been feeding dead patients to her because their dad is a doctor. So Sao gets pissed because his whole family has been lying to him. But Toki explains the reason why they've been doing this is because their mum died but she was replaced by a shadow. And if they don't feed Haine, then their shadow mum will die as well. And look at this crook just decimating human souls with a smile on her face. Ushio ends up stealing her dead body back so she can regenerate her health. So Haine is mildly infuriated by this, so she sends out this beast of a woman. Bro, look at the visuals, bro. Ushio is gliding. Then Ushio takes down that massive Goliath of a woman. Shinpei goes all sneaky like and uses that chance to get a shot on the god Haine. But with a single glance, his fingers and gun are gone. Big man pulls up and he says if anyone moves then I'm gonna crush Mio's head. So he just starts blasting the people he deems unimportant. Meanwhile, the officer meets Hizuru and he offers to bring her to a hospital, but she's like, nah, bring me into the depths of this cave, nigga. Haine grabs Ushio. Now there's no one left to kill Shinpei so he can reset. No one moved, but this demon decided to crush Mio's head in front of Shinpei. And this big black guy's like, I'm gonna keep you alive forever, you're never going back in time. Then his head explodes because Hizuru pulls up. Then she looks out of Shinpei and tries to shoot him in the head, but no. The guy blocks it and insta-caps her. But little did they know, Shinpei had one more trick up his sleeve. He had poison. So he manages to escape and go back in time, but this time he takes Ushio with him. Shinpei and Ushio just appear out of nowhere like they're pyrocynical uploading a 7-hour video every 6 months. But old man Nezu isn't having any of it. He was gonna blow her back out. So Shinpei informs Hizuru all about the future, and they make a plan to take out one of Haine's bodies, Shiori. So what they're gonna do is the exact same thing they did last time, except for this time, Ushio's going to Thanos snap her out of existence. So they're ready to ambush her like last time, but this time Ryunosuke goes flying through the fucking window. And that's not the only shocking thing. Guess who's back again? So Shinpei's like, what the? How are you even here, nigga? Then Haine's like, you know what? I can time leap too. So Forms just starts charging and oh my god, how can you get this much joy from seeing niggas die? Then Forms is about to capture Shinpei, but Ushio's not having any of it, she just beheads this guy. And they end up time looping again, but this time they go so far into the past, Shinpei's mum and dad are still alive. Then the young Hizuru is like, yo, I made a new friend. And Ryunosuke and her friend just can't comprehend that she can even make friends. So they're like, prove it. And Hizuru's like, yeah, bet. So she brings him to the house where her friends live, and look in that window. That's Haine. Well, that was 13 episodes of Summertime Render in a nutshell. As I said before, if you did enjoy this video, I will be making a part 2 watching the rest of the episodes, so please like and subscribe. It will literally make me as happy as a One Piece fan seeing Oda foreshadow. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.